Hi guys, another beer store video actually. You know what? Today is a weird day for me because I'm gonna have 3 beer store videos in a day and a half. This one is actually more to my liking, more to what I've been saying for a while now. This was a press release from Flying Monkeys. So Friday, May 2nd, 2014, for immediate release, Flying Monkeys lists specialties, the Matador version 2.0, and El Toro Bravo in the beer store. Crazy, but it just might work. Now, again, I think Peter and Andrea are great people and very smart. May 2nd, 2014, Barrie, Ontario. In an experiment in craft beer retailing, the Flying Monkeys Craft Brewery is releasing their highly acclaimed specialty beer, the Matador 2.0, El Toro Bravo, as a beer at the beer store. The Flying Monkeys hope craft drinkers will support El Toro Bravo at the beer store as keenly as the 2013 release of the first Matador series beer in the LCBO, rated 97 out of 100 at Rate Beer. The LCBO shelves are exploding with new beer releases. They'll take only so many specialty offerings, says Peter Chiodo, Flying Monkeys founder and artisan brewer. Right now, the only other channel available to brewers in Ontario is the beer store. Until Ontario retail system changes, we're going to test that current construct. And you know what? He's fully and utterly correct in this. The LCBO is full of new beers all the time, so it's really hard to get onto the shelves now. And it's true. That is his only other choice. He can either push to try and get his beer into the LCBO, only sell it at his brewery, or give in and use the beer store. So kudos on him for using what he has. Flying Monkeys are making a conscious investment in the beer store, releasing a real specialty beer to enhance the cartel's claim that they support Ontario craft beer. The cartel, I love the words him and his wife put in. The beer store boasts about vendor neutrality and equal access in all of their media rhetoric. However, the vendor neutrality gets everyone who pays a listing fee access to the system. It does not mean non-owner brewers are treated fairly and equally in terms of access or retail shelf space. And right there is exactly the thing. The rhetoric can say brand neutrality all you want. Here's a man that actually uses the beer store and is using the beer store to get his beer out there, his specialty beer. And he's admitting that just means that anyone that pays the fee is there. It doesn't mean you're getting treated fairly. It doesn't mean you're getting fair shelf space against the other guys. And that's true. That's not neutrality. Actually, Chiodo continues, the beer store has has the potential to be a really good beer retailing model. It really does have the potential to be that. But we know that as a private entity with a government-granted monopoly, the beer store is inherently biased. Exactly. Peter is saying exactly how I feel about this thing. Exactly how a lot of people feel about it. But he's just so articulate at it. The beer store puts a considerable amount of money into lobbying and propaganda to protect this cartel. Ultimately, it is Ontario's beer-loving consumers who suffer from the shareholders' greed with a poor shopping experience, heavily weighed with monotonous owner brands, and, as Chiodo points out, Ontario suffers with a stunted craft brewing industry. Hopefully, growing public awareness and social pressure fostered by Ontario's beer writers and craft beer culture will influence small brewers' infiltration in the system. And you know what? He's right on that too. There is a lot of pressure going on to them right now. And that is why. There's a lot of lobbying to keep this monopoly going. Lobbying like the Ontario Beer Facts page. It's just lobbying and rhetoric and propaganda. Chiodo notes, consumers in Ontario have been forced to accept mediocre beer retailing. Any other beer stores outside of Ontario boast 4 times the selection of what we have in the very best beer store boutiques. Even though the beer store currently boasts all over 400 products on their website, a typical grocery store in any U.S. has over 1,500 products. You know what? I've gotta step back here, Peter. I've been to many a grocery store in the U.S. Completely wrong. The typical grocery store in the U.S. does not have 1,500 products. Amherst Premier Gourmet does. Certainly. Amherst Premier Gourmet does. The Village Beer Merchant, not that many, but there's a lot. What other big ones are there down there? Consumer Beverages, I won't shop there, I'm not allowed because I'm blind, but they have a huge selection too. But grocery stores, usually anywhere from 40 to 150 products. From the 50 or 60 grocery stores I've been in, there's definitely room for some grassroots growth. He's correct in that, though. So what could change in the beer store to enhance the shopping experience? First off, self-serve format stores, and more of them. Moving craft beer from behind the wall to side by side with owners' brands is a start. And he's right with that. Then you can actually pick up the beer, look at the beer, put the beer back down, and see what you want to do. Secondly, no other beer retailer in the world charges a listing fee. But here we are in Ontario. So instead of paying fees for listing per SKU in the beer store, allow that fee to pay for a listing per slot. This means craft brewers could pay for a slot of space in the store, but they could rotate different brands through that space without having to continually pay for new listings. Amazing idea. You know what? I never even thought of that idea. You want to get 5 different beers in there? Pay for 5 slots. Now you have 5 slots, so you're always going to have 5 of your beers in the beer store, and you can choose what 5 they are over and over again. Again, though, at the same time, why is there a listing fee? The listing fee is there to keep brands out that aren't owned by the big guys. So it's funny, you know, this whole press release is making fun of the Ontario government and the monopoly at the same time as saying why they're working with them. Best written piece of work I've seen in a while. That way, craft brewers could provide the most number of brands to consumers and make the beer store a place of really unique selection with seasonal and specialty brews. And then talking about the El Toro Bravo Dark Rye Ale, and Andrea Woods Chiodo, Ego Management and Creative Director, Flying Monkeys Craft Brewery. So again, an amazing piece of work here. Everybody should think about this. Everybody, again, like I talked about earlier with the left field video, go out, write something. Write something, guys. Write something. And lobby this. Lobby that this needs to be changed. Not shut down. It needs to be reformatted. And the bill that's out right now needs to be voted on as a yes. The bill saying that all manufacturers with a manufacturing license can sell their beer and any other manufacturer licensed beers, because that would let the OCB actually make the retail stores in the OCB buildings OCB retail stores. You'd have all the different OCB beers there. It would be awesome. And that would be a great movement too. If you could reformat the beer store, even if it's just into the Peter's idea here, if you could reformat the beer store and get that bill passed, we would be 10,000 times better than we are right now. Forget the corner stores as much. Try and work within the system to make the system better. What we need is specialty shops, not corner stores. What we need is people able to do what they want to do with their beer, not corner stores. And what we need is a beer store because of its recycling, because of its products, because of its space, and because of its locations to be more accessible for Ontario. That's what we need more than anything else. We need the beer store to truly be brand neutral. We need the beer store to support Ontario growth. Thank you guys for listening to me. I know I've been rambling on for a while now. Bye.